What's happening, man?
What's up, dude?
You are in a recording studio.
I'm in a real recording studio. I'm in my house. Yeah.
What do you got there? What's the MIDI controller?
All right. MIDI controller is a Kai
Very
NPK 249.
okay.
And then I've got a Koa Special Edition Taylor that I got in the year 2000.
Wow.
Nice. And then let me show you one more. This one's sweet. So this is like the Heritage 535. It was like some of the guys from Gibson like bought their factory in Kalamazoo, and they were like making them to the 70 specs, and then they got sued by Gibson, and so I have one of the few years of them.
Wow. You're like the embodiment of music right now with the Pink Floyd shirt. Show me rarities of guitars, and you got the MIDI control, you got the soundproofing, you got plaques on the wall. I mean, come on.
Dude, it was like, this is no joke. Like, I'm really supposed to let my morning show people do these interviews, but when I found out it was going to be you, I didn't even give them the chance. Like, I've had questions that I wanted to ask you about like songwriting stuff.
Let's let's go. We can go overtime too. I don't mind. I mean, well, Sherry's gonna be mad at me for that, but ask all the music questions you want. That makes me so happy.
All right, good, man. That's I got a publishing deal with BMG about 2 years ago, and I've been I'm kind of like grinding I just like got my first big song. It was for a guy on The Voice in Germany, which is weird, but he won the show doing it. So that was like a pretty good placement just recently.
Bro, I've been on The Voice Germany. That they don't play in Germany.
That's amazing.
That's congrats. That's amazing.
All right, so let's start with, I know that like you wrote Stay, right?
Yes.
So tell me this, how did you, when you're writing that song, what made you not do it? Because your voice would sound amazing on it too.
Well, thanks. I mean, a lot of people ask me that, but the song was never meant to be for me. I wasn't even supposed to do a session that day, but I was a fan of Leroy, and Leroy was a fan of me. And we were literally he was just coming by on a whim, and we were all supposed to get food. And he was like, before we get food, just play. And we never got food. He was just like, just play something on the Juno 60. And it was, I wanted to do this like very I love to combine fast and slow sometimes when I'm making music. So if you slow that piano part down and Stay, it sounds like a very David Fostery ba 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 boom 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 Chicago boom 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 boom. But I sped it up ba 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 boom boom boom, and it was his idea. This is why it's his song, tried and true, because he got on the microphone and started singing, I did the same thing I told you. But I thought he was going to sing a counter melody to my ba 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 ba. I thought he was going to be like, Anna, but he did that for the verse. He just wrote it was his song, and I really all I did was put the drum pattern down, and he thought that he was really inspired by that because he's a rapper and a pop artist. But I think that combination was really surprising for him to hear. So the short answer is that it was his song.
That's crazy. You know what's nuts is, till you just describing that, I hadn't actually thought how similar that like actual melody pattern was. That hadn't even hit my ear. That's weird.
Yeah, it's unusual. Usually you sing and I was nervous at first. I'm like, that is the most complicated chorus ever. No one's going to be able to sing that. But he's smart in that the fact that it's not easy for people to sing, it makes them want to listen to it over and over again to learn how to sing it. Like learning Sweet Child of Mine guitar part. You can't hear it on first listen and just play it. You got to listen to it a bunch of times. It's very ingenious.
Man, so true. Do you think music's kind of speeding up in general? You feel kind of that tempo change?
Yeah, I think music was speeding up after like the Blinding Lights and Stay, etc. And Light Switch is pretty fast too, I guess. But I don't know if it's gonna get. I think 4 years ago I would have been more confident in saying that, oh yeah, music is gonna be really like, baby, you're all that I want, like that 190 and above tempo. But I'm working with Calvin Harris on his next album, and the song that we made is all, and you think Calvin Harris, you think synthesizers, you think synthesized instruments, but it's all like we recorded a band. I'm working on the John Legend record, and it's all band. It makes me think that people are going to care less about super polished production and super tuned vocals, which is usually my thing. but people are going to care more about like real instrumentation. And synthesizers used how they were by like Kool and the Gang, Summer Madness, like in the 70s, where they weren't used like that in the 80s on a Cyndi Lauper record, where it was like very prominent. It's, you know, Steely Dan would use a little synthesizer to kind of highlight the flute part a little bit. I think that's where music is headed, personally.
I could geek out about this stuff all day. I totally get it. All right. Here is the question that I can't believe I'm actually going to get to ask you, because I've actually messed around with it. All right. In your video for Light Switch, all right, that you put like on TikTok when you're doing those things.
Yeah.
That like whoop, 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 that sound. Did you really make that with your mouth? Is that really what the sound is?
It is a lie.
Okay, I've been playing with that. I'm like, man, I don't know how he got that sub-bassy quality to it.
Do you have Arturia?
I do.
It's the go into your Arturia synth folder, go to the Oberheim synth, and I think it's one of those 15 sounds. And I think I heard that used on a Post Malone record. Oh, he's actually writing it down. And
I actually wrote it down. I'm dead serious.
So what I did, I work in Pro Tools, so it's the audio has to be very exact. I'm not very good with automation, because automation isn't that great unless you're just in Pro Tools, unless you're just doing vocals. But I recorded how I wanted it to hear, and I put like a fab filter on it and opened it up like, and I literally just did it by hand, and then printed it, and then made it sound like a delay. So you have, and then I duplicate the track and put it under it, make it a little bit lower, put the filter on it, a little bit in the back. But you can't do that in a TikTok when, you know, there's like 14-year-old kids who are just starting, you know.
Hey, coming from like, you know, you take some liberties, but I'm just like, if he really did that, I have to know what the quality he added. All right, let me ask you one more in case we don't have time for any more. What would you say to me, like somebody who's like, I'm really wanting to do some remix and some DJs, whatever, but I really want to write hit songs for other people. I already know I have hit songs. Yeah. It's just what advice would you give me to get it into the right hands?
Well,
to do it.
Two things. Remain as humble as you are right now, because you're very affable, and talking to you, I wish we could, if I were allowed, I would talk to you for 10 more minutes, because you're an absolute pleasure to talk to. And there's so many assholes in this world, and it's just, I never got to where I am by being arrogant or anything. So that's the most important thing. So easy, stay as you are and keep your work ethic. And number two, as far as songwriting goes, literally just tell the truth. And it's so example is, I wrote some songs in 2019 that really didn't resonate with my audience, because I was trying to, you know, I was shaving my head and I was putting fire in the background in music videos. And yeah, some people like those songs for the production aspect, but at the end of the day, production is just supporting the message of a strong lyrical standpoint and a really catchy melody. And the melody is the universal language tool. And it didn't have that, in my opinion. And Elton John also told me that as well. So there has to be some truth to it. And the most important thing, what I was singing about was all made up, and people, no matter what their musical, no matter what their musical level is, they can sniff out the bullshit in what an artist sings about, because it's just a human to human interaction. That's all music is. So just tell the truth in your music, and it'll just go. I told the truth in See You Again. My friend passed away, and I wrote a song about him, and then that translated to millions of other people. That wouldn't have happened had I not told the truth. So tell the truth and remain as you are.
Well, Charlie, I'm really, really grateful. I'm a huge fan. I think like you're a testament to like, you're legitimately talented, like super talented. I want nothing but success for you. Light Switch is a mega banger. I want to be number one.
I want nothing but success for you as well. You seem like you're very well on your way, but you're lovely to speak to, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Charlie. I appreciate it. Have an amazing rest of your day, and thank you for this opportunity. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.